First of all, my thanks to your pastor, Pastor Tim, and your associate director, Margaret, for having me here today, and my thanks to all of you. I've been here since 7:30 this morning, and I must say I am very impressed with the congregation. I feel like I really am among family and friends, and when I do look out over the congregation, I see faces that I recognize who have been volunteering at ECHO over the years. For those of you who don't know ECHO, let me give you a little bit of background and history. For those of you who do know ECHO, I want to give you a little bit of an update on where we are, and then I want to tell you a couple of success stories, which I think is always the most important part of a program, what we are doing and what difference it makes. First of all, ECHO stands for Ecumenical Community Helping Others. We are an interfaith group made up of 25 different congregations in the Springfield-Burke area. All of the major faiths in the Springfield-Burke area are represented, have joined ECHO over the years, and have a representative on our board. And so what we do together. We do it as a faith community, we do it as a total volunteer community, and it makes a tremendous difference. We are fast approaching our 50th anniversary. We were pulled together back in 1968, initially by the founding pastor of St. Mark's down on Backlick, St. Mark's Evangelical Lutheran Church down on Backlick, Dwayne Carlson, who passed away about 2 years ago and was a truly sainted man. Not only did he found St. Mark's, but he also founded ECHO, and even after he retired, became pastor emeritus at St. Mark's. He still joined us in working in our food room and distribution of bread to the poor to make sure that what he preached, he was also doing. And that basically is what ECHO tries to do. I indicate that we're made up of 25 congregations. We have 400 volunteers that come in and help us in every aspect of our organization. We have no payroll. No one is paid at all. Even our executive director, God bless her, who works 50, 60 hours a week, receives no remuneration. All of us do this to make our faith realized in the community by helping our neighbors and helping others. Like I said, we were formed back in 1968, and quite frankly, when we started out very small. We could only help about 12 families a year. We operated out of our own basements or out of our church basements. I ran a food pantry, helped about 12 families a year. Today, we basically support 1,400 to 1,500 families a year. We are helping 5,000 people a year with food, with clothing, with financial assistance. When I say financial assistance, we don't cut checks for people. We help people pay bills that they can't pay. The utilities are about to be turned off. We help them pay that bill, their rent, their doctor's bills. We have grown to a situation where we are distributing about $250,000 a year, all of which has been donated to us, all of which either through any one of the congregations or through the individuals who volunteer with us, or from other people who just decide to write us a check at Christmas time or at Easter time. What we do is we provide food, clothing, and financial assistance. Financial assistance is amazing for housing, utilities, doctor bills, prescriptions that individuals need. And I keep underscoring this, we are a local organization. We are not a national organization. We really are, all of our resources are drawn locally. All the people who work with us are local folks in the congregations around this area. And all of our distribution is to our neighbors, people in the community who are in need. And we rely completely on a lot of other organizations that help us out, Boy Scouts in particular, postal letter carriers. The Boy Scouts will run a food drive for us every year and really collect up to 25,000, 30,000 pounds of food. And people always say, wow, how long does that last you? For what we do, that lasts us just about a month. We give out as much as 30,000 pounds of food a month, $20,000 of financial assistance. All of this comes from the congregations that are part of our faith community and also from our volunteers. We have, as I indicated, approximately 400 volunteers, and we have no paid staff, and our overhead rate is 1%, which I would, rack that up against anybody else in the social service business. We have tried to be a resource that the community can look to in disasters also. Those who have been around for a while might remember a couple years back there was a major fire at Springfield Commons apartment on Commerce Street. That fire displaced people in 11 apartments, as many as 76 people. Simply had no place to go. They walked out of their apartments with their clothes on their back, and that was it. And what the county did is they moved in the Red Cross. They put all those people down in the Lee Recreation Center down on Telegraph Road for 3 days, but never turned to us, so we turned to them. We called up the county, and they said, we're here. We're literally right across the street from where the fire was. Make a long story short, we processed 56 people, giving them food, clothing, financial assistance, help in finding alternative housing, because the housing that they were living in not only was totally burned out, there would be months again before they'd be able to have a place to live. We helped them to find housing and to pay the rents. This is who we are. This is what we do. We have tried to reach out and expand into new areas, reach out to the business community so we can have more restaurants and hardware stores actually giving us donations or running drives for us. And it has been incredibly successful, as you can see, over 50 years. We recently have tried some new programs. We've reached out to high schools and some of our elementary schools, both in terms of food assistance programs for kids that just simply get breakfast and lunch at school, but over the weekend have nothing to eat. So we worked with congregations, we worked with schools to make sure that these kids get some food in their backpack before they go home for the weekend. We've also started mentoring and tutoring programs. Our biggest project right now is an indication, a sign of our growth, is that we bought the property next door a couple years ago, a half acre, and we're trying to put a parking lot in there because we have 40 to 50 volunteers working in our warehouse every day, and we don't even have enough room to park. Success stories. All this ultimately comes down to, do you make a difference in people's lives? Does your faith, when you put it into practice, make a difference? And quite frankly, we have nothing but great stories to tell, and I'll just give you a couple of them. One is a very recent story of a woman who just immigrated here from Honduras after her husband was killed in the political violence in Honduras, took up residence with her sister-in-law, whom she really didn't know, but happened to be in the States, happened to be one of our clients. Her sister-in-law brought her in, and we, in order to help out, gave her food, clothing, set her up an apartment, financial assistance, and this lady was so moved, she just simply said she had more as a result of the generosity of the faith community through ECHO than she ever even had back in Honduras. Those of us who've been around ECHO for a while frequently volunteer at what is known as a donation door. It's the big door on the side of the warehouse where people drop things off. And one evening I was there, and a lady dropped off some materials. She dropped off food, clothing, household items. And I always go out of my way to say thank you, because I think it's important that people realize how much we appreciate the generosity. And this lady looked at me when I said thank you. She said, no, thanks to ECHO. 5 years ago, I was an unwed mother in an abusive relationship. I had nowhere to go, nowhere to turn. I was unmarried, and you helped me. You helped me set up an apartment. You helped me with food, clothing, financial assistance. Today I'm married. I have 2 children, and I'm married to a doctor, and I want to give back in any way that I can. And that is what ECHO is all about, really, about giving back. And from our point of view, we don't proselytize, we don't evangelize, we don't even solicit, we don't engage in advocacy. We really try to just focus on putting our faith into action, following the message of our own scriptures, giving to others, and the measure by which we give it will be given back to us. I want to say thanks again to St. Andrews for always being there for us, for having me in this morning. Your congregation is running, your church is running a food drive next week, and so there will be listings and bags back in your narthex of the type of things that we'd like to, if you are generous enough to help us out at this time. In your parish hall, there are also brochures and lists of a whole range of opportunities that we offer for volunteering and also for things that we need. I want to close once again by saying thank you. It is people like you and clergy like yours that have helped us to really make a difference in this community. Thank you all very much.